to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the Sim500 TranService Truck Series, and we are at Indianapolis Motor-Speedway. It's going to be a fun race. We're watching these trucks in practice for just a couple more minutes, but while we finish out practice and you guys can see the times on the pylon, let's bring in everybody in the reinforced Falcon Grafix broadcasting booth, starting with our guy that knows basically a lot of every version of racing you could think of. It's Mr. Gary Wells.
I was going to say, I think you're wrong about that, but I appreciate the compliment. Great to be here in the booth with you tonight, AJ. Again, especially at the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in Speedway, Illinois, the racing capital of the world, my home track. I
You had to
can't
do
wait to
that.
see how this truck race is on the big track here tonight.
You had to do that, didn't you?
Got
I
him.
have to.
All right. Well, if you guys don't know, I made a little blunder at the end of last week's broadcast. Called it Illinois when it's actually Indiana. So knew that was coming. Bearing the lead about 10 minutes into the broadcast, which is great. But let's bring up the 8-time Sim Indy 500 winner and 1-time power outage driver. Let's go to the owner of Hutchport Racing, Joe Hutchings.
That was harsh, AJ. That was harsh. But thank you for having me tonight, guys. And I guess I'm subbing for Mike tonight, and glad to be in the booth with y'all.
Yeah.
Especially the reinforced. Hopefully, it's double reinforced.
Triple
I would
reinforced.
hope so, at least. But yeah, Mike Campiggio cannot make it tonight. Hopefully he's better and feeling better by next Wednesday. But guys, we're at Indy, baby. We don't normally see the Truck Series run at Indy. I think they're usually down the road at IRP. But
Most of the time when we watch races at Indianapolis, these vehicles don't have fenders on them. But this should be an entertaining race.
yeah, I can't wait to see what we got qualifying in just about a minute and a half. Gary, give us the tail of the tape of the Sim 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, historically, this track in NASCAR is just really hard to pass here, especially for the lead. Not a whole lot of leaders, not a whole lot of lead changes. I looked at the previous couple races here. We don't even hit the double digits for lead changes or leaders for that matter. However, this place is kind of feast or famine when it comes to caution count. Their first race here they ran back in 2017. They had 8 cautions. Last season they had 3 cautions. So this is only the third time that they've raced at IMS here in the TranService Truck Series. Really gets dominated by the guy that gets out front. There's something special about the number 3 here at IMS in these trucks. The guy that has started third has won here both times. So, and led the most laps. So it's going to be an interesting race here tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, we're going to see this place being tough to pass. And Joe, I know you've been watching this. It doesn't seem like no matter what the series here, the most troubled turn here at IMS seems to always be turn 2.
Yeah, always. Tonight we've been watching practice a little bit, and a lot of guys been coming out of 2 and getting a nice little tank slapper going. Should be entertaining when you get a whole group of trucks together.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see them in this big pack here, AJ.
Yeah, as practice is over, we're heading to qualifying. And qualifying is huge. Track position is huge. We were talking to a couple drivers, and it seems like after about 3 to 5 laps, those tires are screaming, and they're done being on the car. Gary, what do these drivers have to do to maintain those Goodyear Eagles?
Pray. No, I'm kidding. Really, there's not a whole lot of tire management tricks here at Indianapolis. I mean, just driving conservative, really making sure how you get back into the throttle here is going to be very critical. If you can ease your way back into the gas pedal and not lose too much momentum in the process and save your rear tires, I think that's really going to help you, because we've seen it loose on exit. And we've seen it many times where if you have too much wheel in it and you have too much throttle, you're going to spin. And these trucks tend to get really tank slap happy as they get into a run. So going to be interesting. I think whoever saves the most tires here tonight, and honestly, if it comes down to a fuel strategy race, which wouldn't surprise me, we might see some twists and turns here at this race. And we're on the oval, not the road course.
So I just realized I was muted this whole time. That is perfect, everybody.
Oh, I was like, I was wondering what happened to you. I
You
thought it was
set-
me.
You set it up perfectly for me. This is great. We're watching Seth Fodder. We got driver cams for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let us know what you think in the chat. As Seth Fodder is going to take his first lap, and he's going to go P6. Justin Fuller. We got him too. He's on his second lap. Thank you, everybody who's hit that like button on Facebook and has shared the stream. Appreciate you people out there. But Gary, what'd you see?
Tommy Ryan hitting the tire barrier and flipping in turn 2
Ouch.
during his second lap. But really, your money lap here, AJ, and Joe knows this too, especially in these stock cars or trucks, as we see here tonight. Your money lap gonna be that first lap, and if you could put 4 corners together here perfectly, which is really hard to do. I don't care what car you're in. You're going to start up front.
Yeah, as we're seeing basically exactly what you said, Gary. The first lap has been key for a lot of drivers.
Yeah, it looks like Swikart in the 01, he ran a 52.82 his first lap, and then his second lap ran a 52.79. So if there is going to be pickup here, it's not like what you would see at most tracks here where they're picking up 5 or 6 tenths or even up to a full second. I mean, they're really only picking up maybe a tenth, maybe a couple hundredths here and there. Kind of what you get is what you get here at Indianapolis. I mean, there's, especially on a track like today where it's 106-degree track temp. This place is hot and slick. And Joe, you know this. It doesn't matter what car we're in here. Indianapolis, maybe outside of Charlotte Motor Speedway, on the NASCAR circuit, is the most temperature-sensitive track that we'll go to.
It is definitely a temperature-sensitive track, and most of these guys late in the run are going to experience a lot of, let's see, how am I going to put this, slip angle in these trucks. Especially, I'm watching right now, and I'm actually watching Joe Hudson, and that truck is skewed going through the corners, and it looks like he's barely turning the steering wheel. And if it's that loose with this cool track, and it's going to get warmer as the race goes on, this is going to be interesting at the end of this race.
Yeah, these guys are going to be begging for cloud cover all race long. The cooler they can keep this track, with the way this truck setup is, the better. But you could definitely see, as we see the 54 coming down the straightaway right here, just crossing the yard of bricks, that truck is definitely yawed out to the right. And that's just to keep that spoiler out of the air. So you're kind of in a situation here where I don't want to say it's like a short track in the corners, but it kind of has the mechanical grip like that. And then you definitely have the super speedwayness of these straightaways here. So it's a very technical track, a lot more than what people think.
So Joe, I want to send this to you because I know you love IndyCar, all that stuff, but we're not running those vehicles. We're running NASCAR trucks. What is the significance to get a win here, even though you're not in an Indy car?
One of the oldest tracks in the United States. It's also probably the most prestigious event in the Western Hemisphere. So winning at Indy is pretty special. Doesn't matter if it's a sim win, real win, road course, oval, it does not matter. You just won at Indianapolis. And if it does not give you goosebumps, then I don't know what else will get you excited when it comes to racing.
I mean,
Yeah,
you just explaining that just gave me goosebumps.
I have to agree with that. But I will tell you, these oval guys, especially these NASCAR guys in particular, yeah, winning on the road course is great. But if they want to get a win at Indianapolis, one of the oldest ovals outside of Milwaukee, they want to win on the oval here. I mean, winning on the oval is just, you can't describe it. It's just cool, man. It's just cool.
All right, everybody, let's run down the starting lineup here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the TranService Truck Series. On pole, Justin Fuller. Outside pole, Tyler Dalton. In row 2, it's John Swinehart and Mike Kelly. Row 3, it's Jimmy Coleman and Brian Macklin. Row 4, Tommy Ryan, Jason Karlovich. And row 5, rounding out the top 10, Seth Foddy and Joey Gattina. Gary, take us to 20.
All right. In 11th, we've got Nelson Rivera. 12th, we've got the 38 of Chad Coleman. 13th is going to be Wesley Donaldson. 14th is going to be Richard Swavely. 15th is going to be Joe Hudson. 16th is Scott Simley. 17th is going to be Jeff Ryan. 18th is going to be Richard Beasley. 19th is going to be Doy Woods. 20th is going to be Robert Frieri. Joe, take us home.
All right, let's see. We got 21st would be Doug Roth. 22nd, Kevin Stone. 23rd, Stoney Benfield. Ron Holyfield in 24th position. EJ O'Rourke in 25th. Josh Parker starting 26th. Glenn Campbell 27th. Doug Sigmund 28th. Ryan Wertman 29th. And to round out the field, guys, Gerald Livingston in 30th.
All right, that is your lineup here tonight. Guys, are you ready? Let's go over picks. Gary, who'd you get?
With no intention, Justin Fuller. He's on pole.
It's always a good shot to get Justin Fuller there. Joe, who did you choose as your driver to watch out for tonight?
Going mid-pack. I'm going to go with Joe Hudson.
Joe Hudson starting in that 14th position. And
15th.
15th. And for myself, I chose the number 22 of Nelson Rivera. Everybody watching at home, thank you for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, follow on Facebook, like the video. You'll get a nice, LA night pop-up there. But let's have some fun. Let's see you guys in the chat. Who you all rooting for?
Nate's rooting for the pace truck.
I was going to say, I can't put pace truck tonight because I'm in here.
Well, the way the Sim500's been going lately, the pace truck has been bored out of its mind.
That's a good thing.
All right, AJ, here we go. We're about ready to race at the Brickyard.
Ding, ding, ding. Following contest is scheduled for 74 laps, and we are green at IMS. You know, I need a bell sound for when that happens, like a ring bell. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
And
now, we did see some super speedway racing implemented on this start here, gentlemen. I was expecting to fan out 3 and 4 wide going into the first turn, but it's such a tight turn at IMS, you really don't want to do that, and you got that wall of fans there. But we did see something that you would see at Daytona and Talladega, and that was a lot of bump drafting getting up to speed.
Yeah, look how fast they did get up to speed because of it. And watch the 51. He got away from everybody, went straight to the inside of the racetrack, breaking the draft, and we're only on lap 1, and he's already thinking about that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give any momentum, extra momentum to the 19 of Tyler Dalton. He's going to look to the inside here, but Justin Fuller going to lead lap number 1 here at Indianapolis.
And there it goes. Dalton to the point.
Yeah, Justin only led that lap by 17 one-thousandths of a second. 1 leader. Now we're going to have 2 leaders. 1 lead change so far. Of course, lead changes are all counted at the start-finish line.
And they're running 2x2 back here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of Noah's Ark action going on back here.
Ooh, look at that. 51 just pulled the parachute. Lets Mike Kelly by as we're watching on board with Mike Kelly.
Yeah, watching on board here with Mike Kelly. I think Justin's just trying to take it easy here this first go around a little bit. Like we were talking about, tire degradation is going to be a big key factor here. We've seen after, 7-8 laps as much as a second fall off. And you're really having to baby the throttle and baby your corner exit, especially here at this track. And with these trucks yawed out as much as they are, it's going to be tough to get back into that throttle, and I think it's going to cause it being tough to pass at times as well.
Yeah, we are basically single file, dropping all the way back to this 13th position. You got the 12 of Scott Simley on the inside. Wesley Donaldson's not in his normal car. That threw me off big time.
Yeah, he's in a different paint scheme this week.
Also has a different number.
There's a couple of pretty cool classic schemes back here. You got the Tide truck back here. There's a Petty scheme back there too.
Yeah, Doug Roth. I think his is a throwback to, I want to say either 91 or 92 STP colors for Richard Petty. Iconic scheme. You've also got the 10, like you said, throwback to Ricky Rudd in his days with his own race team, and actually won in this very scheme at Indianapolis. I think he won here in 97, 98. Actually, one of his last wins as a driver owner before he went over to the Yates car a few years later in that 28 machine.
And we are really getting spread out. The top three have pulled away by almost a full second over Justin Fuller in fourth.
Yeah, and I kind of expected to see that here a little bit. Top three, especially with these guys. Schweikart has really stepped up his game for this particular race. We normally don't see him running up in the top 5. We see him running, top 10 a lot here. So good to see him having a great run here tonight. Of course, Tyler Dalton always up front, always leading laps. And then Mike Kelly, too, kind of a surprise. I mean, we normally see him running anywhere from 5th to 12th, around in that range. So good to see him in the top 3, and hope he's able to keep that together the rest of the race. Even though it is 74 laps here, guys, it's a long time around here at Indianapolis. You're running about 50-second lap times, 55-second lap times here. It's a long one here at Indy, and it's definitely difficult. It's no easy feat winning here either.
No, it's basically a fight from the beginning of the race all the way to the end. And it's not just with the other drivers, it's with your car and keeping it clean and not abusing those tires, as Gary mentioned earlier, that after a couple laps, they're done. They're basically done.
Yeah, and we're already here on lap 6. I was just looking at Justin Fuller's lap times. He ran, his fastest lap is a 53:30, and he's already, the last couple laps, he's dropped off half a second. Lap 4, he ran a 53:87, and then the most recent lap he completed, he ran a 53:93. So we're going to see a lot of fall off here. And again, I mean, it's just one of those things here at Indianapolis that, we're going to see a lot of single file. It is what it is here. With these trucks, with this particular racetrack, it's flat, it's a rectangle.
It's not a true rectangle.
Well,
we got 4 different corners.
That's true. We got rounded corners here. We don't have pointed corners. You're right.
There you go.
But, I mean, you know this, Joe. And I was looking at the track map for tonight as we were loading into the sim. Every single corner, even though it has the same length and distance, they all have different characteristics, and they're all different.
Oh, definitely. And you either will set yourself up for running 1 and 2, or you're going to set yourself up for 3 and 4. And most of the time, my strategy would be to set yourself up for that run off of 4, because you want that speed coming down the front straight.
Yeah, definitely want that speed coming down the front straightaway here, because you know what? It pays the big bucks on the last lap to be good down the front straightaway. So being good here at Indianapolis, like I mentioned in qualifying, getting all 4 corners right, almost impossible. I think from a psychological standpoint, going into turn 1's the hardest. But I think for these trucks, and really any car that you get into here at Indianapolis, getting through turn 2 seems to be the tightest corner. We see a lot of wrecks at the exit of turn 2 here. As we get further into the run, I do anticipate some of these guys having trouble.
I do have to play the anti on you on this one. Turn 1 is the most fun because you're pretty much traveling at a very high rate of speed through a valley of people. 4 would be the one that I always worry about because it's 4's weird. It just it just feels flatter than the rest of the corners on the track, and
not only that, but it's more sweeping too. I've noticed, like out of the 4 corners here, even though they say it's banked 8 degrees or 9 degrees in every corner, 4 seems a little bit flatter, and it just seems like it goes on forever sometimes.
oh yeah.
Guys, this top 3 is really starting to pull away. Just about 3 seconds from Tyler Dalton to Justin Fuller, and you really can throw a blanket on top of Dalton, Swinehart, and Kelly. It looks like they're basically just drafting off of each other and doing that to pull away. Now, I'm curious to see in about 10 or so laps if Fuller and gang start closing back into our top 3. Because the way Fuller hit the parachute, I thought he went into immediate save mode to try to make it in basically one stop.
Yeah, you could definitely do that here. It was kind of on the fence anyway. I saw the fuel window here anywhere from 30-ish to 35, 36 laps is kind of your fuel range here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in these trucks. So, and with there not being a whole lot of data here, it's just really kind of hard to see, how long these guys can go. Yeah, they raced here last year in the 2022 season, but the time before that was all the way in their inaugural season, 2017. So these guys don't have a whole lot of time and a whole lot of laps here, at least from a league standpoint. Yeah, the officials come here every once in a while to IMS, but it is very, very rare.
Something that I'm noticing while watching these mid-pack and rear pack drivers, they're trying to dip that left front tire down on the white line, and as soon as that rear tire hits it, that truck it takes off.
Yeah, you don't want to get below the white line here. I've noticed with any car, but particularly these stock cars, they react a little bit different to an Indy car. But you want to get the front tire as close to that white line as you can. But the minute you get your rear tire, like you said, that left rear, it just takes off, and it's I don't want to say it gets tight, but it feels like you're driving on ice when you got both tires below the white line in the corners.
Karlovich trying to get by Bossman Katina.
Uh-oh.
He's got help with Tommy Ryan pushing him straight through the turns.
Yeah, and it looked like the 60 was having to turn left and right just to get through turn number 3 there. And Joe, I mean, they say there's only one lane here at Indianapolis, but sometimes, like we're seeing with Katina, he was able to defend pretty good at the exit of turn 4 right there.
Oh, there are plenty of people out in iRacing land that know that there are multiple lines around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You just have to know how to hit them.
Exactly. This track is so technical, it's all about hitting your marks here whenever you come to this racetrack.
And you don't have to worry about a sweeping turn 1 and 2. It's 4 separate turns that you need to nail every single lap. And if you just screw up one, it's going to take you a full lap and a half, 2 laps to get back in that rhythm and build your momentum back up.
And that's why I always kind of say that Indianapolis, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, it's kind of like racing on a road course here. 4 different corners, you mess up one corner, then you got this other corner. Oh, okay, at least I got a straightaway to kind of gather myself, but I just screwed up that entire straightaway because I missed up the first couple turns. And then you got to go down another straightaway for another set of corners, and that can mess you up too.
If you mess up in turn 1 and in turn 3, you can kind of recover because of the draft on the longer straightaways, but if you screw up 2 and 4, you're done for. It's like hitting the freaking brakes coming out of those corners. And like I said, I've seen it mid-pack right now where these guys are just they're just hanging on right now, and the guys that have figured out, hey, I know how to run this truck just above that white line, they're just gonna blow by these guys that are getting loose.
Move Macklin up a spot as he's gonna get by the 54 of Jimmy Coleman.
Yeah, and that's gonna put Macklin up into that top 5 in that 5th position. But yeah, I've been kind of watching these guys too on the straightaways a little bit and seeing how they're getting out of turns 2 and 4. Doug Roth a couple of times looks like he's about ready to smack the wall. He's gained 2 spots into that 19th position, started 21st. He's running a little bit of a higher line. He's definitely running above that white line, but turn 2 and turn 4, I get a little bit of a mini stroke every time I see him come out of the corner, just because you want to get back to the gas, and then you're just so close to that wall. You're trying to feed it out there as much as you can. But you think you have more room, but you really don't here. I mean, this is a pretty narrow racetrack.
Hey guys, Justin Fuller chewing into that lead, pulling the leaders back in.
Yeah, and he's really pulled away from, you know, 5th on back even. I mean, he's pulled about a second on those guys. So I thought there at first, I thought Justin was holding them up. And then as the tires started to fall off a little bit more, he's been reeling everybody back in. And really the previous 5th place truck of Jimmy Coleman, he's kind of fallen back a little bit, and now Brian's making a move. But yeah, you look at how Justin's sawing on that wheel through turn 2 right there, and you are working your hands here quite a bit, just making sure that you don't really wreck this darn thing. As he's going into turn 3 here, being very steady on the wheel, focusing on hitting his marks, talking to his team.
The guys who are the smoothest with the steering wheel and brake pedal application are going to be the faster guys today.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Justin's inputs there, and to me, I don't know if you were able to see that, Joe, but he was holding a pretty wheel right there.
He's a half a second faster than Tyler Dalton.
Yeah, I think you were right, AJ. I think he wanted to lead that first lap and then kind of fall back a little bit, even if it cost him to fall out of the top 3, just to save his tires a little bit, and you see that really starting to pay off.
Dropping back here, Doy Woods in the Red Bull Toyota, just getting passed by Richard Swavely.
I saw one of those trucks. I couldn't tell who it was at the exit of turn number 2 there. They were sideways. Could almost.
And there goes O'Rourke.
If I would have had a better angle at it, you almost could have seen their truck number. They're pretty loose.
Woohoo! Swavely really loose out of 4.
And you know, in these trucks, you do use a little bit of brake here. You don't use a whole lot, but you do use enough at the entry of the corner, especially turns 1 and turn 3, to kind of get that truck planted, and then help to pitch the nose a little bit to get it to rotate so you can get out of said corner. And you might use a little bit in turns 3 and 4 as well, or 2 and 4 as well, to set up the exit. But you're not using a whole lot of brake there. You're more so lifting. But I mean, same principles apply, right? How you apply the brake, how you get back into the gas, when you roll back into the gas, and really rolling back into the gas is key. As Mike Kelly is in the fence there at a turn number 4. Kind of saw that developing. It seemed like he was getting pretty tight there, right behind that 0-1. But he's lucky it wasn't worse than what it was. I mean, we've seen how many wrecks here, Joe, in the past. You know, on whether it's iRacing or real life, it seems like if you hit the wall on turn 4 or turn 2 just right, you're bound to hit that inside wall too.
He's lucky that he didn't bounce off that inside wall after pancaking that turn 4 wall there.
And we've seen, and I mean, I've seen people hit the pit road entry. You know,
that's where exactly I thought he was going.
Yeah, it's a little nerve wracking when you hit the wall here, because, like I said, as he's really sawing the wheels on that thing now, that truck is done. He's ready for a caution and a pit stop, but he hopes he's not the caution.
This just reminds me of Tony Stewart's wreck when he came across the track and ended up getting it was that IROC car that just exploded when it hit the wall.
Yeah, I knew Tony had a hard wreck there in the IROC car, but there was another driver that also hit the styrofoam barrier once too in turn 4.
Oh, there have been plenty of drivers that have hit it back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and that was like the first implementation of the safer barrier, AJ. Indianapolis has always been ahead of its time when it comes to safety. But yeah, they just got tired of picking up the styrofoam, so They were trying to figure out a way how to incorporate that for the turns, and you see that here with the safer barrier today. Steel wall, styrofoam to help absorb the impact. Still not a, you know, a soft hit by any means. You're still hitting pretty hard here, but definitely absorbs most of the impact that you would normally see with just a regular concrete wall.
Looking at the 81 of Josh Parker, he's our biggest mover since the beginning of the race.
Ooh.
Right here on lap 20, up 11 positions.
Fuller was sideways out of turn number 1 there. That truck was all kinds of slip angle, yawed out, whatever you want to call it right there. He's hauling the mail here. He's got to run off of turn 2, and he's going to get around John.
I think John kind of helped him out there.
Yeah, I think John was like, you know what? You are definitely faster right now. I am going to let you out of here.
He definitely fell back to save some tire because he's been moving up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, he definitely has. And this is where you're really going to start to see the draft. Not necessarily play as much of into effect. I mean, really, your after the top 10, you've got the pack of Richard Beasley. That's really the start of like a bigger pack, but we're really starting to see these guys spread out more and more. Look at you, AJ, liking your own stream. How about it?
Hey, I gotta get other people too.
That's right.
I didn't like it today. I'm sorry. I'm not watching it right now.
I have to have all of them pulled up just in case Streamlabs doesn't want to show me the comments so I can see them.
That's right.
Oh yeah, you don't get my color commentary in the comments this evening.
That's right.
No, I don't. Tyler Dalton, your race leader. Justin Fuller sitting in second. Third, John Swinehart. Fourth, Mike Kelly. Jason Karlovich
Brian Macklin pitting.
in fifth. And Macklin coming to pit early.
I think he's one of those guys that's probably going to try and do this in a two-stopper.
Oh, wow. Dalton sideways, and so was Swinehart.
Yeah, everybody was sideways there getting through turn 1. Justin was pretty calm, but he's pretty sideways right there off of turn 2.
I don't know about you guys, but have you seen Tokyo Drift? Because we almost saw Indy Drift.
Yeah. And I mean, even in an Indy car, if you're not keeping up on your tools, you could be sliding like that in a present-day Indy car, but we saw that more so back in the day with the, what was that, the IR09, 05, whatever? Joe will help me eventually.
There have been plenty of race cars on this track that have mastered the art of sliding around this place.
You want to know how I knew that Eric Jones was a driver, and I mean a really good driver? Not a whole lot of people remember this. I was watching the Xfinity race here at IMS. Watched this live. Eric Jones went into turn 1 here when they were still on the oval. This is like 2015 or 16. It was a year before he went in the Cup. He was driving for Gibbs. He spun in turn 1, off of turn 1, where it gets really narrow right there with the access road and everything. Didn't hit anything. Was able to save that race car. And from then on, I was just like, you know what? He's going to be pretty good. And he's won himself a couple races in the Cup Series.
Yeah, Southern 500 being a big one.
2 Southern 500s, and you don't win that by luck. Winning at Darlington, that's almost as just
Swinehart
as
to pit
historic.
road.
Yeah, John's pitting in here. But that's almost as historic as winning here at Indianapolis, because both those races have been around a very long time. And actually, the Southern 500 was inspired by Indianapolis. Obviously, not the same, track configuration or anything like that, but the original developer and owner of Darlington Raceway went to an Indianapolis 500 and said, "Man, I got to bring something similar to that back home."
Fuller looking to take the lead on the backstretch.
Here he comes, and they do have a solar truck in front of them. They got Doy Woods.
Doug Sigmund 2 laps down.
Mike
Probably
Kelly is
too
going to be
fast
coming into the
entering.
pits here. Mike Kelly coming into the pit area. And I mean, talk about that, Joe. Your pit road entry here
Oh, it's
on these-
treacherous.
on these old hot tires on this hot racetrack, and you're going down to a place that either has marbles or sand or whatever else you can find down there. It's pretty tricky. Going
Yeah,
from about 160 to 55.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to sit there and say the other infamous person that slid coming into pit road. I think it was 2022. Somebody very famous went and missed pit road. And
Oh, Scott Dixon.
yeah. Yeah.
Who was it that hit the tire barrier at the entrance to pit road in 2020? I can't think of who that was.
I can't
Was it
remember.
Pickett?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Dalton pit road. A
It was
lap
hot that day.
after he gets passed by Fuller, he's
And
gonna hit
he's got
pit
some
road.
company too. He's got some friends there. It looks like
Karlovich.
Karlovich is there.
Coleman,
Coleman's
Katina,
there.
Parker, O'Rourke.
Ooh, O'Rourke was
and
sideways
Sinley.
right there.
Yeah, we've seen EJ O'Rourke be very, very.
Run 4 hasn't been kind to him. It wasn't very kind to him in
Aggressive.
practice. He almost wrecked right there. So
I'm surprised they're using the NASCAR pit with this for only having 30 trucks on track.
well, they
Yes.
normally have it set up to where 46 can advance to the main race here. So I think they wanted to get the NASCAR version just because more pit stalls to offer. But
Yeah, that cone's about 100 yards closer to turn 4 than it usually is, at least
yeah.
for the stuff that I do.
Right, right. And honestly, when I first ran the Indy configuration here, the IndyCar configuration here of the oval, I thought the yellow cone was in the same spot, and then I was like, "Oh, it's up here. I don't have to go. I don't have to get on the binders." As we see Hollyfield right there, and he's going to get an unsafe pit exit.
He is stopped on the racetrack.
No caution yet. There's
There's the yellow flag.
Yeller is out.
Sir, you can't park there.
Let's see
Yeah,
what
well,
happened
we
here.
saw that live here.
We did.
And this is what I was afraid of. I kind of had a feeling this was coming. He didn't want to hit that tire barrier. He was going to hit it. And he was like, nope. And it looked like he might have had some wheel hop there, Joe. And wheel hopping here is no bueno.
Yeah, he put that truck into neutral and was trying to figure out why it wasn't going nowhere.
Oh boy. Yeah,
He might get popped with an unsafe pit entry there and entering a closed pit. That's not going to be fun. I would have just stuck with staying on the track there.
Wow. And does this help the drivers that have stayed out?
It's going to throw a mixed bag of strategies here, AJ. I really think that. I mean, Fuller hasn't pitted yet. I think you're going to see a mixed bag. And you could pit here, AJ, and not go a lap down
Yes.
here at IMS because it takes forever to get around this racetrack. So I think you're definitely going to see everybody that hasn't come in and pit. They're going to do that. They're going to come in here and take 4 tires. Depending on where you were running before pit stops, if you just pit, you might come in for a splash of gas because you're definitely going to see a lot of fuel saving here, especially for the guys that were trying to do this in 2 stops. Now they have to kind of change up their strategy a little bit.
From what it looks like right now, the top 11 have not pit.
Yeah,
At least
I think
that's
they're
what.
gonna-
At least that's what Sim Racing Apps is telling me.
Yeah, and they are here. They come, all of them.
Now,
It's feeding time.
here's the thing: if you're one of the drivers that did pit, are you gonna come down and just top off on fuel?
Well, you can could get away with that, but it just depends on how many other guys want to do that too.
Well,
You really have to count your cars. 'cause-
Swinehart, Dalton, and Kelly stay out.
Yeah, I'm not fully surprised by that. But if you're running maybe 20th or 21st, down there, kind of where Katina was, you might come in here and maybe not take tires, but definitely take some fuel. What we're really going to have to watch out for, guys, on this restart, and NASCAR's known for this here at IMS in the past, wrecking on the straightaway on a restart because of wheel spin and missing a gear.
Seen it happen a couple times.
Just a few. Been to
Yeah.
a few brickyards where that's happened.
We're only 5 degrees warmer than the race start, so I mean, it's possible.
All right, everybody. Well, we are under caution for the first time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, it'll be the restart from IMS.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
All right, we are back here at the Brickyard, virtual Brickyard. Pit stops have concluded. And guys, we got a mixed bag strategy going on here. The leader of the race before the yellow is back in 11th, Justin Fuller. The top 10, it looks like, stayed out here. From John Schweikart all the way down to Tommy Ryan. Justin Fuller is going to have his hands full, but he does have fresher tires compared to a couple of these guys. They already had about 3 to 5 laps on their tires. As we're getting ready to come back to the green flag here, Pace Truck is going to be diving down to the safety of pit road now.
And waiting for that green flag on the front stretch. And there it is. Loud pedal engaged. Swinehart pulling away.
It's a little bit of a backup in the mid-pack. Not
A
too
little
bad.
bit of backup, but that's kind of anticipated.
Ooh, look at the 32
Three
of
wide
Richard
and-
Swavely there.
3 wide. Look at Fuller making it happen. You could go 3 wide here. I just can't guarantee that you'll make it out of the next corner.
We call that talent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or 5-lap pressure tires.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
those 4 Mr. Feel Good. You're going to be feeling pretty good.
Oh,
Nelson Rivera loose there. Going to be able to save it. Nelson's saying sorry for causing a code brown for everybody there.
Yeah.
Oh, the 15 just shoved it through. Holy cow.
Yeah, your pick, Joe Hudson. Making a move there.
Gary, you made it sound like one of those creative character names that have to put it together. Joe Hudson. And he's got some help right behind him. Nelson Rivera got him all the way down that backstretch and then backed off at the last second.
I'll give a quick shout out. It's not going to last very long. But I want to give a quick shout out to EJ O'Rourke. Started 25th, currently running 6th. Josh Parker started 26th, running in that 8th spot. A couple of our big movers here.
Yeah, it's probably not going to stick, but it very much could work out in the long run. Because track position is 100% key.
Yeah, maintaining your track position here. They're going to lose a couple of spots, because of Justin Fuller at bare minimum being able to get through the pack. So, and he's not really passed cars as aggressively as I thought he would be. Probably again just trying to save his tires. He's restarted 11th, up into that 9th spot. He's been pretty smooth on that wheel all night long.
There is another strategy that some of these drivers could be playing too. There's a nice giant cloud over half this track right now, and that would be the place that you would want to make your moves.
Yeah, absolutely. The track temp is 118, so it even has gone up 7 degrees. Woo! Since we last looked at it, as Fuller was sideways there. Yeah, where you have the grip with that cloud cover, you definitely want to take advantage. Basically, this year's Indianapolis 500, we pretty much had a cloud over in turn 4 the whole race. He's pretty nice. As a fan, baking in the sun all day, I can only imagine how it felt for those drivers in the race car, going through there at 230 miles an hour, practically, going through turn 4. Probably gave them a little bit of extra grip.
Looks like that's what we're seeing right now. Drivers really not getting loose out of turn 4 yet.
Keyword yet. And it had the track temp has dropped 3 degrees here within the last couple of minutes. Was at 118, was at 106 when we started the race, and it creeped up to 111 and almost 120, and it's kind of fluctuating, but that's kind of the story of weather here in Indiana. As you see, Nelson Rivera getting a big push here, like it's Talladega from Brian Macklin.
You basically pray the dude behind you is going to let off, or you're going sailing through the turn.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not a fun feeling.
I've given her all she's got, Captain.
Here comes Ford diving down to the inside here of the 81, Josh Parker. Making it happen.
And that is set up on how Fuller gets out of turn 4.
Yeah, and he's really set it up. Oh, did the 81 hit the fence right there? He got close. But it's really setting up how he gets out of turn 2 and turn 4, because he's really been able to get through those 2 corners really well, setting up for these 5/8 of a mile straightaways.
Right in front of him, Karlovich moving up a position, passing Donaldson.
Yeah, and he also passed the...
O'Rourke loose into 3.
Yeah, dead sideways going through there.
You do not want to be facing the inside wall at any time.
No. Definitely not, especially here. Yeah, you kick a vehicle sideways here, you're just, you're praying that you don't hit anything else, pretty much.
Especially on the front stretch. If you do something on the front stretch, you're bouncing straight back into traffic.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it many times here. IndyCar, NASCAR, doesn't matter. I mean, you hit the inside wall here, because by the sheer speed that you're going, you're going to bounce back up in front of traffic. Turn 2, it's not too bad. There is a tire barrier down there. Not sure if it is with this scanner or not, but there is a tire barrier down there that will absorb the hit and keep you in the fence.
Holy cow, they're 3 wide.
Yeah, they are definitely 3 wide right there, and it is getting intense
keep it
here.
3 wide.
Yeah.
Did somebody say rain? Because they're driving like it's about to start raining.
Right.
Yeah, this is the halfway mark, isn't it?
Yeah, we're right about there. 74 laps into this thing.
Oh man, this
There's
battle
still
is
3
crazy.
wide. Who is that on the outside of EJ right there?
Should be Wesley Donaldson. No, it's not. Was it the 2 throwback? Because that's Wesley
Yeah.
Donaldson.
Is that Wesley?
Yes, sir.
That was a power move of the century.
Power.
This
Always having
mid-pack
fun,
race
though.
is actually pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, 22's in the wall.
Nelson.
Oh, there it goes. Gonna have a big wreck here. Caution's gonna be out.
We just barely saw that happen live.
I'm not quite sure what happened there.
He popped the wall.
Nelson did?
Yes.
Oh,
He gets loose in 3. Tries correcting it and doesn't. Goes straight up to the wall. Joe Hudson and Scott Simley involved in that as well, but the main damage is to the 22's right side.
Yeah. With this new damage model, we'll have to see if we got any engine damage out of it. These trucks can take a little bit more of a beating than they used to, but not by much.
I wouldn't be
Well-
surprised if you see pit stops.
Oh,
It wouldn't be
we
either.
definitely are. I mean, we're, what, 35 to go right here?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Math.
And they've got 2 sets still, so burn one here, and if you get a late race yellow, I guess you could burn another one.
And here comes the cavalry down pit road. Holy cow, it's everybody.
Yeah, definitely not surprised there.
Now you know why I root for the pace truck.
That's right. Well, and let's talk about this, Joe. I mean, you know, you've been here in an Indy car. I've been here in an Indy car and a stock car here. Doesn't matter how you slice it. This pit road, narrowest pit road we go to.
Oh, this pit road is crazy. And back in the day, it went from no speed limit on pit road to 100 miles an hour, and then they actually tamed it down to 65. I think it's 65 now, right? I think so.
60 here in the NASCAR series. It might be 65 for IndyCar.
Okay. I know for some other racing sims, we've been able to run with no pit road speed limit. Coming into pit road at 230 miles an hour and wowing it down into a pit box about the size of a school bus. Yeah, no.
Less than
Pretty
ideal.
nuts.
Well, I mean, we know about the history about this track pretty well, Joe. In the 19 teens and 20s and 30s here, there wasn't even a pit wall.
Yep.
I mean, you just pit it on the front stretch, just like everybody else. I mean, to the inside, of course, but it was you couldn't even fathom that in today's racing world. It's pretty wild watching some early Indy 500s here and them having no pit road to speak of. Really, you just kind of pulled off the front straightaway into a spot where you could remember where your crew is, and you got your gas and got your tires if we needed them, and went back out there.
Well, also remember too, it's not only the race cars that could be the issue too. Remember back was it late 60s, early 70s when the pace car took out the photographer stand?
Oh yeah, we've seen a pace car have troubles here at Indianapolis. No one's prone, or immune from issues here. But man, you make a pit road mistake here. Track position, we talk about being so important. You messed up a pit stop here. You're basically done for the day. Really hard to come back from pit road issues.
Oh no, you can salvage, but it's gonna take a lot of help.
Yeah, you need a lot of help, that's for sure.
Well, we're about a half a lap away from going green, guys. What do you guys think of the race so far? Gary?
I mean, kind of what we, at least what I expected. You know, for the most part, been pretty clean and green up until this point. Figured we would have some kind of pit road incident. I was thinking in the back of my mind, I didn't say this on broadcast, but kind of had a feeling there was going to be a pit road issue the first set of green flag pit stops. That would bring out the first yellow. That happened. And then, you know, just a racing deal there, going through turn 3 right there with Nelson getting loose and kind of having to hit that wall there in turn 3 and causing another incident. So pretty much the same kind of racing that you expected any other time.
Well, we're just past halfway. Pace truck is about to dive down pit road. Now we're about to get underway for the third start of the race.
Green flag.
Macklin just spun his
on
tires.
That loud pedal. He spun his tires, but I think he had a little bit of help from Justin to spin his tires. He was getting a big push from Justin on that restart.
Watch out, this 50.
Oh, the 19. Everybody's kind of getting really close to those rumble strips, Joe. And you get those rumble strips here at Indy, you're going bye-bye.
You are done. I'm surprised that they're able to pass. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, they've definitely put on a better show than I thought they would, Joe. That is for sure. I mean, look at Wesley right here. Just being able to defend so well on the high side through these corners. I mean, definitely wasn't expecting it from these guys here. Ooh, Schweikart got loose right there.
So did Mike Kelly.
Yeah, he did. A lot of people got loose right there. Joe, we never got a chance to get to you here during that caution, but what have you thought about this race so far?
Again, I'm really surprised that they're able to pass. Usually you get a funeral procession out of anything that resembles a stock car. So they are actually putting on a really good show, and I'm highly entertained by this race.
Yeah, and Sim500, I mean, you've watched our streams, Joe, all the way through this season so far. Sim500 never fails to disappoint. I mean, really the only biggest disappointment race, I guess you could say, was Gateway, where there was a lot of cautions. But, I mean, it's Gateway, you kind of...
Yeah, it's Gateway.
It's hit or miss there. I mean, either you go green for 100 laps or you get cautions every 10. I mean, that's just how Gateway is, but...
That's an open-wheeler track.
Right. So's Milwaukee, too. But, I mean, looking here tonight, like you said, I'm definitely surprised as well. They're putting on a great show here.
From 1st to 7th in just about a lap, Macklin has dropped 7 positions right now, as he's now in 8th.
Yeah, not fully surprised with Macklin. He got loose a couple of times, and he's just been kind of falling back ever since. But that's kind of the nature of the beast here, Joe. You feel like you're leading 1 minute, and all of a sudden you're back in the hornet's nest.
Happens every time at this place.
Sounds like a super speedway to me.
Whoa! I'm thinking Schweikart's going to bust his butt every time he comes out of a corner.
He keeps clipping that rumble strip to the inside.
He's going to hit it one too many times, and he's not going to be able to save it. He's going to be a passenger. But I mean, we really haven't talked about this much tonight, Joe. But corner entry, very important. We've talked about that. But I mean, IndyCar, stock car, doesn't matter. This track is probably prone to being the easiest track to overdrive.
Oh, very much so. If you put entirely too much thought into it, you're just gonna end up beating the wall. I know this for a fact. You just want to be smooth, hit your marks, and watch your throttle inputs, especially in these, these slower trucks.
Yeah, hitting your mark's so important here. I could never figure it out, this place, in a truck or in the old Cup car when they had that Gen 6 with the big-ass spoiler and the 550 horsepower. Thanks, Dale Jr. but I've never really figured it out. But we got to an Indy car here. You get in the Xfinity car. You get into the Gen 4 Cup car, or even the next gen car now. It seems like the more horsepower I have in general, I tend to drive places a lot better.
I'm pretty good in an open wheeler at this place. Put me in a stock car here, and it's like, cool. I'm a rookie.
What do I do? How do I get around this place?
What
You're
do
like
I
Cold
do?
Cycle at Charlotte in Days of Thunder. How do I
Why
get
am I
around
sitting
here?
so high?
Where am I putting my hands?
On the steering wheel.
Guys, holy cow, the 81 of Parker and Ryan coming out of turn 4, both of them sideways.
Yeah, and it's going to happen more and more here as we get into this race. And we haven't really talked about this much either, Joe, but marbles here, I don't care what car you're in, we have trouble on the racetrack.
Robert
The Yeller's
Fury.
out. The Yeller is out.
Good old Yeller flag here, Robert Frieri. Let's see what happened here, AJ. Oh, someone's on the grass. You can't do that.
That's Stoney Benfield. That looks like
Can't
he's
park
on
here.
your flag.
Can't park
Wow.
here.
He's gonna punt this the
Whoa.
32.
Kind of had a neck crash there. That was kind of weird.
That was.
We got, is that Kia Cook right there? She's saying, let's go faster, 75. Let's go faster, faster. Well, unfortunately, your pastor involved in a wreck right there. Needs to not hit the grass. But,
He also
know,
sent the 32 of Richard Suavely into the turn.
yeah. It's, you really have to be paying attention here at Indianapolis. You can't relax for a minute. Like you really got to be watching your surroundings. It really feels like when you're on the straightaways here, you're kind of like Pocono or Michigan or an auto club. You're kind of looking in your mirror, seeing where people are going, and then you almost kind of have to set up the corners for a short track because you do have to apply some brake and just going through the corner to set up that entry so you get a good exit. You're doing a lot behind the wheel here. Yeah, one thing we haven't talked about yet, Joe, is the marbles that tend to build up here at IMS. I don't care what car you're in, whether it's a stock car, Indy car, those marbles to the outside.
Yeah.
Of these corners here. It's you get up into the gray and into the loose stuff, you're going to be
Going
as
for
I
a
said in
ride.
Cars 1, you're going to be in the tulips.
You're going for a ride, and I'm gonna tell you this: you ain't gonna feel good when it's over with.
Yeah, just ask J.R. Hildebrand.
Oh, that's a low blow, but that's funny.
Oh.
Low blow.
And here
Or Thomas
comes pit
Scheckter.
stops.
Who else?
Swinehart, Coleman, Woods, Katina, Campbell, all staying out.
And this is the last set of
Hey.
tires here too, guys.
Hey, Gary.
Hmm.
You know who else ate turn 4 while leading this race? And he had a full lap, and he was trying to lap his teammate again?
Dan Walden.
No.
Who?
Mr. Orange Juice Drinker.
Oh yeah. We don't talk about him.
Yeah, we don't talk about him.
Just like we don't talk about Bruno.
You know, for somebody who hasn't seen that movie, you do make jokes on it.
Oh, we're
I
gonna
do.
watch. We're gonna watch it one of these days. Just-
Oh yeah.
It's actually a good movie.
Give it time. Give it time.
I mean, after the race, I'm throwing on The Dark Knight because for some reason I really want to watch The Dark Knight.
I'm gonna go watch the back of my eyelids.
You? Sleep?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well,
know.
Joe,
Weird, isn't
we're back to where we were at the start of this race for track temp. If you want to throw that back up, AJ, we're back to 108, 109-ish. We were about 105, 106 when we started, so very similar to the start of this race.
I've
as
seen
far
it
as
as
the
high
track
as
temp.
seen it as high as 121.
Yeah. So this, and again, I mean, Joe, we've been talking about this all night. The track temp and the way this track is, it swings. It seems like it's always constantly taking a 15, 20 degree swing. And, you know, one run, you're feeling really good. And the next run, it's like, what do y'all do to this car? They didn't do anything. It's just the way that the track heats itself over time.
It's broken.
Right. The cars flooded.
Guys,
Oh no, the car
this
exploded.
has been fun, Joe. We gotta have you up here more often. I don't care if it's a 4-person booth. Thank you for joining us tonight, and everybody watching at home. Thanks for tuning in to All Star 15 TV. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button, subscribe. Go check out all our sponsors in the descriptions. But Gary, they have put on a hell of a show tonight, and back to kind of what Joe was saying, that he's really surprised that there's passing. You know, you and I have watched every single race live for the Sim500. I'm not surprised, because just when we think they're going to be chill and ride around, no, they do not. They put on a show from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, these guys are always and we have a few takers that stayed out, so this restart's going to be very exciting. Really, I think it's a kind of a track position grab here, and
Top 6 stayed out.
and saving those tires.
The top 6 it did not come to pit road.
Yeah, it's going to be entertaining, to say the least, as we get up to speed here. But I mean,
they enjoy. I hope they enjoy the fresh air, because they're about to get 8.
yeah, they are. No, seriously, they are. I mean, it's just one of those things. Even 3 or 4 laps, kind of like Darlington. You caution comes out, you come in and get 4 tires. But I know what these guys were trying to think of here, Joe, and I think you do too. I think they were just wanting to see if they could, save a set for later. Which, who knows, if they're able to do that and late caution comes out, they're going to be sitting pretty good.
Well, for this restart, we're going to jump on board with Justin Fuller, and this is going to be fun to watch. You see him getting ready for the restart.
Restarting that 7th spot, and a green flag back in the air here at the Brickyard. He is leaning on Glenn right there, shoving him pretty good. This is the part of the race too, Joe, where the patience is going to start fading here as we get further into this race.
Oh, kind of like the 3 wide for 2.
Flipping oh my. Fuller there. I don't know how he survived turn 2. He clipped the curve down there, and I thought he was a goner. Look at this. There's still 3 wide back here.
Oh boy.
Oh, a couple guys getting a little close there, a little sideways.
81 of Josh Parker went like a rocket right now.
Sure did. Everybody's thinking tires, but I don't know. I kind of agree with Swikart and Jimmy Coleman's strategy here a little bit, and just staying out. What do you got to lose? Like I always say, if you follow the leader, you know what you're gonna do. Follow the leader. Right. You're gonna. Well, doesn't matter if you're second or 22nd. You're still gonna follow the leader.
Hey, first, you're last.
We do the leading. We do not do the following.
That's right.
And the way I see it with those top 6 drivers, if a caution comes out with 5:10 to go, they are sitting so pretty. They are gonna be supermen with those cars. Or trucks, I'm sorry, Joe.
Okay, James Hinchcliffe.
Oh jeez. Oh boy.
He says that all the time. All the time.
Taking a look at the 30 of Brian Macklin, after him falling just about 15 positions before that caution came out, came down pit road, looking to regroup. We know that 30's fast, but he's going to have to really put a good couple runs together to get back up towards the front.
Yeah, he's really going to have to work on passing people. You got to be a little bit aggressive here, Joe, to pass people, but you also got to maintain your stuff here, too. Ooh, we got Doug Roth all kinds of loose there.
Woo!
Gary, you picked 51, correct?
Sure did.
Yeah. He just moved up.
And that was even before we started practice, really.
Yeah, but don't give me that, Gary. We know the 51's going to be fast wherever these trucks go.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's been fast this year, but he really hasn't been able to seal the deal. It's really been a struggle for the defending champ of this series. I mean, he's running good right now. Definitely hasn't shown the speed or the results that he's wanted to his standards for sure. I don't think he's even won a race yet this season. So, what better time than now as we get close to the playoffs here than to get a win and lock yourself in and, you know, set yourself up really good for that postseason.
Oh, car in the wall right in front of... Lovely, that's Robert Fury.
Yeah, a lot of people have been getting that Indianapolis stripe here tonight. Looking at Schweikart here, he's got 1.3 second lead on the rest of the field. Look at this battle here between Donaldson and oh, trouble! 30 head on into the fence, rear end into the fence. Cars, trucks everywhere.
The yeller is out.
I believe it started with the 10 and the 30 here, coming off of turn number 2. 10 really, really high, and Joe, I think that's a little too high here.
Just slightly.
Just a tad. Just a tad.
Yeah, if you're in that lighter gray area, you're done.
Yeah, and he was definitely done there. Really was pushing that nose and rear end clipped the fence. Oh. What happened to Holyfield right there that caused him to go to the grass like that?
I don't know. Let's take a look at that.
Let's take a look at an onboard here. Let's see what happened. Going to turn 2. Everything's all good.
You can see the smoke.
He's slowing up. Binders. Uh-oh. Oh, he gets hit. He's trying to avoid the 30 there. Last second. Couldn't do it. And, I mean, I don't know what it is, this grass here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Joe, but it is definitely... I know it feels like ice when you're on these hot, slick tires anyway, but it's like double here in Indianapolis.
Well, I mean, think about it. You're moving over 100 miles an hour, and you're trying to stop on rubber tires on grass. You're not stopping.
No, you're definitely not stopping.
I want to take a look at that because I'm curious if the 30 had his brakes locked up, because he literally just came right back across the track just rolling.
Well, and we've seen at times with this damage model AJ that I don't care how much you lock up the brakes here. If you break a suspension component and you're locking the brakes, it doesn't seem to matter. Because if that tire ain't hitting the ground, you're not stopping anything. And it's really bad in the Gen 4 Cup car, especially. But yeah,
Poor drivers staying out.
It looked a little reckless there on Brian's part, but I would have to think he was doing the best he could in holding the brakes. Really, I think the only thing he could have done is just try to not move the steering wheel too much and just let the truck land where it's going to land. Because it's all about being predictable.
Hold the brake, let everything clear out, then move. Or tow.
Justin Fuller not very happy with his pit stops here tonight, but, gains a couple spots here. How many tires do we give these guys? Normally it's, 3 or 4 sets. Getting all the tires, I guess.
Right?
And that track tips back up to almost 120 guys.
Sheesh.
So...
yeah, we're just looking at under 20 to go. Sitting with our 4th caution of the evening. Race leader Tyler Dalton, followed by E.J. O'Rourke, Mike Kelly, Seth Foddy, and Joe Hudson, rounding out your top 5 right now. It's almost time for. If you thought they were aggressive before, they are really about to start getting aggressive.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have to. That you're getting to that point where where they're paying the points, and you want to get the most points that you can get.
You better hope you have your beer and popcorn ready, because this is gonna be a doozy at the end.
Or if you're under 21, a non-alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, Joe, come on.
But yeah, get your popcorn at the very least.
I was waiting to hear Joe go. Psst. I was like, oh, there's his.
I mean, I thought he was going to crack open an Amstel from the start here.
That's what I thought too. Who knows? He probably already has.
Number two.
Yeah, that's a light night.
I think I'm going to see the back of my eye, the lids too, Joe, after this race.
Well, lights are off on the iRacing official pace truck. And
Yay, go truck.
This has been fun. Love coming to Indianapolis, Indiana.
When I saw the message from Gary after driving home from work today, do you want to broadcast? Yes.
Well, I knew it was Indy, and I just knew you were going to bring a different perspective of an insight here, because, I mean, hey, what other race would you broadcast? Road America, I guess. So...
Yeah,
That's what I thought. I go, his original was like, no. Wait, they're at Indy. Yes.
no, it was a chin scratcher, and then yes.
I had to think about it.
Yeah, I thought about it for like 5 seconds because it was Indy.
All right.
In
Well,
Speedway,
here
Illinois.
we go. Stop it. Here we go again.
Green
Dalton
flag back in the air.
with
here.
a heck of a launch. That outside lane does not go at all.
Yeah, it's when you're in the outside lane here, it's hard to time, and if you time it right, you could get bopped for jumping the restart. So it's kind of a lost cause being on the outside lane here. Ooh, and not being the leader. I saw the 15 get real wide off of turn 2. I thought he was about to shove that 01 or whoever was his outside into the fence.
But Seth Flotty, he's doing really good up in the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Woo.
But O'Rourke up 22 positions.
Yeah, and these guys didn't pit this caution here, so Seth is way outside. You don't want to be up there. We just saw Richard Beasley take a nasty shot off of turn 2. Whoa, Fuller's going all the way down where nobody's gone before.
And he's going to make it work.
And he's saying, you are not going to block me tonight. This is not happening. And he's wanting to be aggressive, and he said that a couple weeks ago at Daytona. I'm going to be aggressive the rest of the year, and you're seeing it right there, starting with Schweikart. And Schweikart bouncing off the 51 and getting loose. And
talk about take no prisoners.
He said no more Mr. Nice Guy without saying it a couple weeks ago. So he's bound and determined to get back into victory lane. He's really had the best truck here tonight. The best way I could equate this to is Jeff Gordon back here in 2014 at the Brickyard. Didn't lead the most laps. Casey King did that day. But you could tell Jeff had the best car. He lost his track position early in that race and was able to get it back late in the race. But one of those things where sometimes if you have the fastest car and you're kind of stuck in traffic all day until the very end, that's when you want to be up front. But it can feel gratifying, but also very frustrating because you feel like you could lead more laps.
As he's closing in on Joe Hudson, trying to make the pass, looking to the inside.
Joe who?
Hudson.
No. There he goes.
Oh, and he gets right to that back.
He is right to the rear spoiler of Tyler there. He definitely took the air off that spoiler.
He is on a mission right now. This is awesome to watch.
And it's always one of the most
Oh.
gratifying things here is we're seeing the 15 and the 19 have a little bit of contact, more contact in the back here. But
A great
I mean,
shot looking down the front stretch.
seeing a really good driver and a really good car at Indianapolis here, Joe, I can't think of anything more gratifying when you're seeing a guy like this put on a drive like this, going through the field and making it happen as Tyler gets really loose off of one again. I think he had Doy Woods all over his back bumper there too, ready to meet God.
Tommy Ryan, EJ O'Rourke.
Battle
This
for the
is
lead here between the
4-7.
54 and the 2, going into 3. They were side by side. 54, Jimmy Coleman going to take it. Yeah, you look at Justin Fuller right here. He is, he's lurking. He knows if these guys get side by side again, it's going to be curtains.
Fuller's been the fastest truck on track the last couple of laps.
Last couple laps, I think he's been the fastest truck for all 63. I mean, he's really put on a heck of an effort here.
His fastest laps of 53.3, and he just ran a 53.4.
Yeah, he's been the model of consistency for sure, and Jimmy Coleman ran a 53.4 there as well the last lap.
Here goes battle for P2.
Not going to be much of a battle, I don't think, AJ.
Bumper and clear.
Yeah, not going to be
was,
much of a battle. I think Mike knows I don't have the best trucks, so I'm just going to let you have it. You can have it.
It was
think
a
I can
friendly wave.
I think
And snake in the draft. Joe, I feel like this doesn't really work on iRacing snake in the draft. I feel like it creates more of a draft when you do it.
Depends on the car, because the DW12 you could snake it.
Yeah, and you
But,
got to do it right too. There's an art to it. You just see guys swerve back and forth, and it doesn't really work.
I have a really good replay on my YouTube channel of snaking the draft. And the guy that
Oh, one into
Oh,
the fence.
big
Into the
hit,
fence.
big
He's
hit.
going to come back up on the track. Caution's out.
Oh, he's
I
running
just
a
saw
modified.
that in the corner of my eye. He just got off of turn number 2 and yeeted to that inside wall. Get a load of this.
He's running a modified.
He's going to be running more than a modified. We talked about that, Joe. Getting that left rear tire on the apron, and he does right there, and there's the result.
That safer barrier just ping pongs you off into that wall. He's lucky he didn't take out a quarter
Half
of the
the
field.
field. Yeah, right.
Ow. That's going to hurt in the morning.
Everything hurts in the morning, AJ. I'm old.
I'm bored with the old
And look
one.
at how far to the right. Look at that wheel input, guys. Go back a little bit here, AJ. You'll see. I mean, he was turning right to make the corner. Like, he wasn't even turning left. He was sideways before he even got down into the corner here. And he's just right, left. It just runs out of racetrack.
It almost seemed like he was lifting a little bit in the center of the corner to avoid hitting that truck, and that's what really got him loose.
Yeah, they don't have the underground downforce like they do in the Cup car, in these trucks. But man, it definitely looked like it there, because if you lift sometimes in these cars, it's kind of like doing this in a GT car on a road course. You lift, it's almost worse. You got to be in the gas or in the brake there.
Ask me how I know from experience, right?
Yeah, all the time. That's why I said put me in a prototype.
Which Gary Wells will be racing a prototype for Road Atlanta in October.
Yes.
Throw you under the bus and then backed over.
Well,
You
we got a
got some
couple
takers.
takers on pit road here, guys. I don't know. Tyler Dalton, I'm not surprised. We saw he was wrecking every corner, every lap. They might be able to recover for a top 10, as we've got 9 laps to go here, but I just don't think they're done wrecking. You know?
Well, they are running out of laps, though.
But you know what? You know how many green, white checkers we have? 3. I think we'll see
we
1.
do.
What does your friend always say?
Chaos!
That's right.
Chaos breeds chaos.
We like chaos.
We like TJ.
Hi, TJ.
I think he's bowling tonight.
Oh, well, hi, TJ. I'll just text him.
There you go.
I can't wait to see those couple drivers that came down pit road, starting with Seth Foddy and Tyler Dalton and E.J. O'Rourke. 19th, 20th, 21st. How far they can gain. They're going to have just about 10 lap fresher tires. That's going to mean a lot, but you still got to make those passes.
It's going to be hard for them to pass. This late in the game, you're going to be making moves that no living driver should be making at this track.
But we've seen them make it and make it work.
Oh, I can name a couple of people right off the top of my head that have done some really weird things at this place and made me look like... No, I'm talking about sim racing.
Oh,
well, yeah, Takuma Sato too. But, Noah, what was it? What was this? No attack, no victory? I don't remember what he usually says.
Bonsai move.
Taco fan. Bonsai. Cool. No attack, no reward, something. I don't remember. I'm not a big taco fan.
Taco or Taku?
I call him Taco.
Taco? Okay.
Yeah, Taco.
Taco.
It's Taco.
Taco Tuesday was yesterday.
I'm making AJ hungry.
Always hungry.
Well, never mind.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh god, this is fun. Great race, great racetrack, and they are putting on one hell of a show tonight. And the driver that's basically put on the most of a show tonight, passing trucks left and right, is sitting on that front row to the outside. Does anybody have anything for that 51? Knocking on wood here so I don't jinx him.
That 2's gonna fall like a rock. Sorry.
I got a rock.
Yeah, Mike Kelly, last pit on 48. Everybody else, 56. And then you got to go back all the way to Seth Boy for 65.
Yeah, we knew some guys were going to be saving their tires for the end like this. I really don't blame them, but I think it's too little too late to be making passes this late in the game.
Man, that truck is really aggressive getting to pit road.
I was thinking it was going to flip over one time. Green is back out. That 54 got a pretty good start, better than what I thought he was going to get. But it opened the bottom here for the 51. It ain't going to be much more than by the exit of 2.
And there it goes.
And there it goes.
Shuts the door on the 51.
Shuts the door, but don't shut it for very long. Here he comes. He's going to follow him down there. Yeah, this might work out for now. He's going to lead this lap, but Justin's going to be begging to get around him here in a few laps.
Fuller keeps up what he's doing right now, he's going to end up burning up his tires.
Yeah, you got to keep the... Yeah, snaking really could burn your stuff up, Joe. I was just getting ready to say that. Like, you want to keep your tires straight on the straightaways. You don't want to be scrubbing your tires. Because it's really going to wear out your front tires for sure.
Let's take a look at Fuller in car. Look at the concentration on Justin Fuller.
Yeah, he's really concentrating hard here. They have really pulled away from third on back. I really thought Kelly was going to fall like a rock, Joe. I was agreeing with you, but he's held on to it. But he does have a lot of pressure here from Tommy Ryan. Yeah, Justin here, he's been really focused, really stout. trying to hold a pretty wheel. The less input you put into the wheel, the better off you're going to be. And we're really seeing that here with Justin.
Justin's just calculating it out right now. He's just playing with that guy in first.
Yeah, I think he's just like, hey, you know, I'll let you burn your stuff up, but I'm going to pass you. And it's going to be here soon. Only 5 laps to go. You got to be thinking, when is he going to make that move? Because I think he can make it and pull away, but...
Oh, look at
wow.
Fuller really took the apron there.
Yeah, he really clipped it there. He's lucky he made it through that corner. And that corner is always really hard to judge, too. Again, I talk about turn 2 being a struggle for a lot of people. Because you think you can, it's more sweeping, but it's really not. You can easily clip that apron, and we have a caution here.
The yellow out.
Doug Roth and fellas. Oh. Someone got right reared. Let's take a look at that. Oh, he didn't get right reared. Oh, yeah, he did. He was trying to go through a hole that wasn't there.
Science has taught us that you can't occupy the same space.
Thanks, Bill Nye.
And that's what happened right there.
Oh, although there is this thing called netcode.
Well, I will tell you, that is a caution that I don't think our top 2 wanted to see.
No, sir.
But this does cool down the tires, so the tire advantage the previous guys had, I think we're involved in that wreck. And he went to the Gary Wells School of Racing right there, just hitting the brakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, great job for Gerald Livingston.
Who we're on board with, who we're on board with there, but
Gerald Livingston.
Yeah, he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop.
I got something interesting for you guys.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Chevy, Ford, and a
Toyota.
Toyota. 3,
All
2,
top 3.
1.
I'll go to a bar.
I'll go to a bar.
Hey, I thought we were, family friendly.
We are. We didn't tell them what they ordered. Only 2 Chevys, 3 Fords, and 5 Yodas. That's a lot of made in Kentucky.
It's definitely making Scott happy.
If he's not
Rambler.
asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
he's not asleep.
Yeah, he's feeling a little under the weather. Get well soon.
This is
That man
be-
mixed up the Hustler and the electric slide. So you know he's out.
God, he's
man.
not even here and you're burying him.
Hey, the next time he's on broadcast with you, he'll have the opportunity to bury me. It's okay.
Or we'll accidentally pull him while he's in the bathroom again.
Oh.
You went there.
Hey, Rambler, got a couple seconds? Yeah, give me a second.
All can be seen on All Star 15 TV.
Yeah, I think that was the Sonoma race.
That
It was the Sonoma race. It was practice.
That was the practice for Sonoma.
Yeah.
Back when I used to run happy hour for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great feature. Too bad more people didn't show up.
Yeah.
It was great. I actually got TV time because I stunk in that car. It was cool though.
Gary, you mentioned hitting at least one green-white checkered, and you got your wish, pal.
This is not a green-white checkered, as of yet. Not officially announced, anyways.
I think it should be as I come by because
so they're gonna take the 2 to go, and they go green at 1. So yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna extend it here. Here we go.
At least iRacing doesn't do IndyCar and NASCAR things. Red flag.
Red flag right here.
I hate that they added that to the F1 game.
We may or may not have started a chant in turn 4 during the 500 a couple of years ago.
Finish the race.
This is bull crap.
It was much worse than that.
Well, we're doubling up.
For the sake of
getting
TV,
ready.
for the sake of TV, that's what we'll say. Even though we're not on TV, but y'all get the point.
So, the last
we were.
couple restarts we've seen, they've been chaotic. I think we're about to dial that all the way up to 11 right now.
This amplifier goes to 11.
You know what? Tommy Ryan. I don't know. I just have a feeling. But that wild card right there in that 99 Chevrolet, or even in the 81 Chevrolet of Josh Parker, those two right there, look out.
Let's go 15.
Also, just so you guys know, in those first couple laps, Seth Body, who was one of the drivers that last pit on the caution before, up 8 positions.
Ooh, well,
Sitting 12th.
it'll give him a top 10, but I think pretty much at this point the tires are even. Lights are off on that beautiful pace truck. That Chevrolet Silverado pace truck, even though they don't put the emblems on it.
I wish I had the handling of that truck.
It'd be cool if a league was able to stamp their own pace truck with their own logos.
You hearing this, Dale Jr.? You know what to do.
Exactly.
Nim.
All right.
Green flag.
Green
and
flag in the hand.
immediately.
Waving popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go. Green white checker. They're 2 and 3 wide. In the back.
Oh, we're about to see the chrome horn here going
Here
into 2.
comes the chrome horn. Here he goes down to the apron. Shallow entry for the 51.
Oh.
Oh, a little bit of contact there. Maybe a little bit of netco between the 51 and the 54. 99. Oh, I thought he's getting a push here from Josh Parker in the 81. They are setting sail here going into turn 3.
Oh boy, 2x2.
2x2. I know a guy. Here comes Tommy Ryan. What I tell you, outside, making it happen. Starter is holding the white flag. They got to make it to turn 4. End of the line here. Race will be official.
Gary's not live. And as they cross the start-finish line, it is the Fair Play Wrestle Fest final lap.
And it's gone for the 51 and the 54. Ooh, Doy Woods there, almost getting into the 51.
Oh, the 51 is using the curb like nobody else is.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
Tommy Ryan going to make that truck 8 lanes wide, even though there's probably only 3.5 lanes here. And Fuller's going to run out of time and run out of tires. It's going to be Tommy Ryan, unless he messes up turn 4. Rounding turn number 4, he's going to kiss the bricks. Tommy Ryan is going to win at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
About a thieving way of getting
Whoa!
a win.
Fuller just pounding it into the fence.
Tommy Ryan, great race. TJ, wow. Gary, you called that dude before the restart. Great call, dude.
I just had a feeling it was going to be that 99, that 81. They were restarting 3rd and 4th. If they were going to work together, they could have passed them 2, and they certainly did. I mean, it definitely sent Justin back to 3rd and Jimmy Coleman back to 4th place. Yeah, your top 3, we're going to interview these guys. Tommy Ryan, Josh Parker, Justin Fuller.
Yeah, we'll get to those top 3 drivers right after a message from our sponsors.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
We're back, everybody. Gary, you're down with the race winner, Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, Tommy, Gary here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, man.
All right. Well, you're the winner. I kind of called it there on that restart that you and the 81 might get together and try and do a bunk draft to get up to the front, and you definitely did that. Talk about your race. Talk about your truck. I mean, that last restart was very interesting.
Yeah, it's these things, man. The draft is there obviously, but man, it just you really can't do anything if you're deep in a pack. It's just really tight. You just chew front tires up, and clean air is massively good. So I just tried to try to stay in the top 10, stay out of trouble. Tried a couple pit strategies there and got lucky. Lucky the wrecks were in the back, and thanks to Josh Parker, man, he gave me a hell of a shot. Those guys are going to try to block the inside, which I'm fine with running the top or the whatever it is through here. So it paid off, and I owe it him for the win. So couldn't have done it without him.
Yeah, for sure. We head to south of Indianapolis next week. We go to Kentucky Speedway, and it looks like it's the legacy version. We're going to the 2011 Oval next week. Mile and a half, bumpy. Definitely going to see some tire wear again this next week. How do you feel about Kentucky?
Well, I think it's a whole lot more driver friendly than the newer version, because everybody just gets up against the wall and you can't pass. So it should create some better racing for us. Haven't been there in a really long time, but I know it's I missed it from compared to what we have been running. But it is what it is. We'll show up, and we'll get some speed up and go after it again, man.
All right. Any final shout outs or thoughts you want to give here as we let you go celebrate the W here?
Yeah, thanks for my my sponsors, 811 Dig and Northern Tool and Equipment. And again, for Josh Parker, giving me the hell of a shot out of, I guess I was out of 3, or out of 2 rather, down the back. So other than that, man, thanks for Joey. He puts up with a lot, but it's worth it. Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your win, and go kiss those bricks. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was Tommy Ryan, race winner. Let's get to Joe Hutchings and the driver finishing P2, Josh Parker.
Hey, Josh, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Joe.
So, congrats on the second place finish. Tell us about the race.
The race sucked. Got a good finish. I cannot believe how hard it was to pass, and that we ran the Premier Series on Monday, and it was a little bit easier than this. But it was tough. I was like to start in the back, and it was, like I said, I was kind of shocked how I couldn't really make up any ground. And then I kind of got lucky to where when I pitted, the first yellow came out right when I was leaving pit road, so I was able to flip the strategy there and get in the top 10, and was able to stay there in the top 10. I wasn't really fast enough to get up front. I mean, at that point, it was just like follow the leader. So yeah, ended up finishing second, where I guess it's pretty good.
Tell us about that shot you gave our race winner.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty much gonna be. I didn't know anything. My best bet was just to push him and then see if me and him can be first and second. Then me and him would duel at the end, and that's pretty much what happened. So it planned out. When you have 4 cars racing for the lead, only one of us is gonna end up being the leader. So, I was about the 4th car in line. So if I was to try to do something, it would have screwed me and Tommy. So luckily, I chose the right decision and just push him, and I couldn't really do anything after he had a clean air.
Well, good job on second place. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, you guys doing the broadcasts. Joey, everyone at team name, Tommy for the win, Chad, Beasley. Fuller, he ran a good race, man. He was so fast. He probably should have won. He lost this race so many different times. It was kind of funny, but anyway, yeah.
Well, congrats on second place. Indy's a pretty hard track to get any podium at, so congrats again.
Appreciate you. I should be in NASCAR.
All right, Josh, thank you, dude. Let's talk to our P3 finisher this evening. It's Justin Fuller. Justin, what's up, dude? And man, you were bad fast tonight. Unfortunately, coming home in third. Talk about it.
I mean, it's par for the course here. We can't go green on a speedway track, so I don't know what the answer is anymore. It was that was pretty pathetic in my opinion to have 6 yellows here tonight. So um, I don't know. I had a really fast truck. I think I was by far the fastest, easily. The first run, let those guys get out almost 4 seconds, and I was able to run them back down because they just burned their stuff up. So um, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, we really loved watching that. It looked like you pulled the parachute and then just said it's go time. And within 5 or 6 laps, you were right on Mike Kelly's back bumper, and it was so much fun to watch. But we go to Legacy, Kentucky next week. You know, with the issues we had here at Indy, do you think we're gonna see a better show at that 1.5 miles?
I probably won't be here next week, honestly. I'm probably done running speedways. I'll just run the couple short tracks that are on the schedule. It's a draft lock, just wide open through turns 2 and 4 here. It's just, I'm over the drafting stuff. I know Kentucky's not a draft track, but we got probably 10 more on the schedule coming up. So I'll probably run Darlington. I'll probably come run that. Bristol, I'll run. Richmond. I'll probably run Talladega just because it's super speedway. That's fun racing, but I'm over the drafting. It's like 5 weeks in a row, so I need a break from it.
Yeah, man. Well, overall, good race for you coming home third. You got any sponsors you want to plug before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, thanks to TranService for sponsoring the series and the league. They have been sponsoring for a long time. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. I'll go back and pick through this tomorrow. Skip all the yellows. Thanks to Trey for keeping me looking good. All my teammates at Aftermath Motorsports. Thanks everybody that watched. I don't know what the camera. I'll probably watch a lot of it tomorrow just to see what the camera thing was like. It was kind of a neat deal. Really wish we were on the short track across town. Would have been a much better race, even with 12 yellows there versus 6 here tonight. So it's unfortunate. Greatest racetrack on the planet is only 7 miles away from this one. So, but it is what it is. Congrats to Tommy. I really hated that I got tight in turn 2 there on the coming to the white on that restart and got into Jimmy. If that didn't happen, Jimmy would have won that race for sure. I had to make a move to try and get under him to make him make a mistake, and ultimately I made a mistake and I cost it for him. So just apologize to him. That's about it.
All right, dude. Well, you have a good evening, good run here tonight, and hopefully you change your mind and we see you at Kentucky next week.
All right, have a good one.
See you later, Justin. All right, Gary, take us home, my friend.
Well, I mean, event filled and caution filled toward the end. 6 yellows here tonight, like Justin was saying. But overall, thought it was a great race. Good time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Probably the best truck race I've seen here by far. These guys definitely did put on a pretty solid show. Joe, better than I think both of us expected.
This was definitely a show. This is the first time I've seen trucks on the oval. I was impressed by the fact that they could actually pass. And and watching the 3 wide and outside passes, it was pretty good. Thoroughly entertained. Indianapolis has always put on a show, and I'm probably being partial to this, but Indy's always been my favorite racetrack. So anytime there's racing going on, I'm going to watch it. But this was very entertaining to see.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series right in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Your top 3, Tommy Ryan, Josh Parker, Justin Fuller. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. Next broadcast on the channel is Monday, the Extreme Forces Racing League, 9:15. We go live there. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe, stay cool, and try not to say a city in the wrong state and have all your friends.
We're going to
they're going-
Sparta, Kentucky next week.
No, Sparta, Tennessee. Get it right.
Oh, darn it.
You guys are buttheads. But I love
Yep.
you. See you
See you
later,
next week.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.